nervous, man. I gotta get up on that.
Down myself. Alright, I think I'm a little less nervous this week. I think I figured out that maybe I shouldn't smoke so much weed beforehand. Okay, so the first one I just finished today. It's inspired by current news stories, like the cancellation of the space program, an article I read about some middle school suburban rappers, some teenage folk heroes of mine, some child killers and some parent killers. And then there's positive stuff in there, like war heroes and shit, but it's called American Dream Dynamics. And I guess I can't go up there anymore. They say it's off limits. Maybe now we can all ride a rocket to the doctor's office. Astronauts fill the tables at my local food shelter, slopping soup into their helmets, colostomizing, staring at the ground. Now they'll never know, he said, as his parents' lives seeped into the carpet and the festivities began. A myopic plan constructed with as much foresight as an iPod playlist. There may be 2 steps, no safety net, and the Christian News called it a murder party. Attendees said the DJ killed his set. Truly a party to go down in Florida history. Oh, Casey, what can I say that you haven't heard or read, assuming you can read? People think you got off scot-free, but it's not as simple as all that to me. You made the shit list with special accreditations. I saw a child wince at your projected image on TV, noticing the taste of it still on your lips and the width of it still in your hips. Unironic molestation rap spilled liquid over Madonna beats by premature suburban girls crushing hard on black dudes at legendary status. Get your bars up, arms scarred up and down, not sideways. Get it right the second time. What is black and white and red all over? A newspaper with an article about me and my outfit and hair, studded and ringed. My boots made of former living things. All my folk heroes are dead or in jail. All of them except Charlie Sheen. But how long can they keep tethered to the ground, the barefoot bandit and his Mercedes-Benz dreams and private jet schemes, that Robin Hood mentality that turns so many of us on? We worship the noble, but not as much as the sick, watching people fall apart live on the TV set. My other heroes greet the president with a prosthetic hand, or write letters to the government about the deterioration of the country's space program. Outside of the box, Oslo in the summertime, I tweeted my condolences, a precipitation of symbol, the cloud of characters, drifting overseas on a gust of lazy good intentions. Life is a ticker, moments in motion, a walking timeline, and Nixon says, take some time off, inside a chamber here on Earth after your long space trek. Don't break the presidential seal until 21 days of incubation, when spacemen will hatch, never imagining they would live to see moon dust at ground zero. Okay, so that one was kind of heavy. Alright, so this next one's a little different, a little bit more upbeat. It's about inspiration. I named it after a pair of my shoes. It's called Finding a New Balance. A return of a familiar face, or rather a familiar avatar or icon, whatever the preferred term. Rarely does the icon resemble the face anymore, but how should I ever know when you exist in not only another time zone, or halfway or a third way around the globe? For all that I know, as this tilted sphere is spinning, hours later I could be inhabiting the space in which you are now sitting. I'm galvanized. Call me exultant, because a person stepping off a train just made my day. Reuniting over the web or across the turnstile, similar minds triangulating back on the radar. Ink is my drink, and I spit it back up on a word processor. Within seconds of your tickled mind output arousing the gray matter dormant within my skull. A pound of sound dangles between my ears, creating new tones to everything that I hear. Wake me up, shake me up out of this self-inflicted coma where I dream of long-stemmed roses that possess no aroma. I stopped eating fish altogether. That one I did for the tuna. There's some issues with my brain, but I swear it's not a tumor. A kindergarten cop once told me, drugs are bad, don't try them. Then he taught me how to spot the people that use them and supply them. I don't really care for the hypocrisy of alcohol and pot states of legality. I got neighbors lighting up next to me trying to keep the peace. I got neighbors fighting right next to me, a case of beer deep apiece. Blindfolded and in a robe, I balance both vices on my scales of justice. The correct balance is priceless. It must seem slow and bizarre watching a meteor from so far. I try to map the trajectory and plan years in advance for the oncoming collision on fertile neuron plains of alien inspiration in the form of meteor rain. But this isn't astronomy. Science doesn't stand a chance. This is random stimulation like a nonchalant twinkling star. Oh, tired pair of New Balances clutching to my feet, carry me from the dark corners of this barren street where I chase a cone of light pitched from a lone street lamp, hoping for arousal from the fluorescent rays grasps. Alas, only empty air awaits me once I finally pierce that cone, and suddenly the world outside appears more clearly shown. Yet the true sunlight peeks through at times I least expect, like when I'm half asleep or buried in work up to my neck. I'm charmed, I'm possessed, because something just lifted my pen, tilted and lowered it, and applied it to paper again and again. Mysterious in its motions and fleeting in its presence, inspiration left my body at the end of a sentence. Thank you. That was my talking this time.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. I like that, man.